What's poppin'? Welcome back to the station. Welcome back to the channel. Y'all know it is your boy Ray G. You can find me on X at Ray GQ. We're going to talk rookies today. We're going to talk rookies on this show. Rookie rankings for Dynasty / redraft. Because we all know Dynasty today is not the same Dynasty game that you, myself, and other people we grew up with. It is different. And I'm trying to be kind. I'm trying to be nice. I'm not trying to spew narratives. But it kind of feels like glorified redraft. It feels like, what is the player doing for me today? What has the player done for me lately? Long gone are the days where we let players bake on that roster. You know why? Because you ain't coaching them. It don't matter how long you sit them on your roster. It don't matter how long you sit them on that taxi. You ain't doing a damn thing to make the players any better at catching the football, throwing the football, running the football. So we have little patience today to let a player develop and mature. It doesn't mean there aren't moves you can make in and outside of the dynasty trade calendar market manipulation window, but that does mean how people feel about your favorite rookie in August really don't mean a damn thing come October, November, December, or hell, when we sit right here in August, depending on what's going on in the news cycle on that team throughout preseason. I'm not telling you it's right. I'm not telling you that's the way everything should be, but that's what it is. We are living in an age now where information sharing is so quickly, it allows everybody to have an opinion right away. And everybody makes an opinion and they adjust their ranks and they move how they feel about a player. And that perception is most folks' reality. So today, I'm going through my first pass at updating my rookie ranks, hell, probably since the NFL draft. I mean, we talk about where we would have a guy, join the community, ddfantasyfootball.com. You see right here on the screen, we've got a unique feature. I don't even want to call it a tool. It's a monitor of how people, analysts, fantasy players, the market, how they're reacting to players in the movement and preseason and news. ADV, artificial dynasty value. There's an article live right here on the channel, right here on the site, ddfantasyfootball.com. The dynasty market is moving faster than your ranks. That's why we built ADV. Read the article. Link is in the description of this video. Hit the thumbs up button, like the video, subscribe to the channel. But let's talk through these players, where we sit at today, how I feel about them right now. We're going to start position by position, and then we'll look at the overall group, talking about the quarterbacks. So right here, my QB rankings have been updated. It's filtered to Superflex, but I mean, if you don't play in 2 quarterback leagues, Superflex leagues, just remove the QBs when we get to the full positional rank, and you got the same thing as single quarterback. But let's talk about it. Fernando Mendoza, yes, he's QB1, number 1 overall pick. All reports are overwhelmingly positive that this dude is going to be pretty good. And I think Mendoza is going to be pretty good. How good? I don't know. I want him in Dynasty. Redraft, we'll see. The Raiders are saying all the right things that, Kirk Cousins is going to play, and they'll take it slow. And Tom Brady, we want to make sure Mendoza's ready to get on the field and not rush him out there. We want to do the right thing by Fernando Mendoza, and I hope they do that. But long gone feel the days that you give players 2-3 years to sit on the bench, especially number 1 overall picks. Jordan Love wasn't a number 1 overall pick. Aaron Rodgers won damn MVP back-to-back years after they drafted him, so no, he wasn't going to play. But number 1 overall picks, it's tough. We did this stuff with Jackson Dart last year. Let Russ play all year. Let him play till week 8, and by week 3, y'all were sick of him. Get his ass on up out of there. Get Jackson Dart in the building. We'll see how long Mendoza's out. So for redraft, still down the FFPC board a little bit. I've taken no Mendoza. Maybe I'll do a few. Maybe I'll take a few. Some of the drafts that me and Scott Connor are doing. But right now, no change at the top. Mendoza, QB1. Ty Simpson, QB2. No change there. Second quarterback drafted. Excellent preseason debut by Ty Simpson. He's in a great environment. You trust Sean McVay. You love the weapons in Los Angeles. Hey, Ty Simpson did his job. 1 game, 1 preseason game, but very positive to see what he did. I talked about it on my preseason takeaway show. Ty Simpson still stays here as QB2 in the ranks. QB3, and we go into a new tier. So Mendoza in a tier of his own. Simpson in his tier of his own. Now we get into quarterback 3. Carson Beck, Arizona Cardinals. Carson Beck comes in at QB3. I think most of this is we just anticipate or predict and project that Carson Beck is probably going to play sooner rather than some of these other quarterbacks. So we get more information on Carson Beck a hell of a lot quicker than it looks like we're going to get on Drew Allar, Cade Klubnik, Taylon Green, any of those other guys. Like Carson Beck feels like the best bet to be on the field over these next couple of quarterbacks, but I still got him in the same tier. Maybe you could put Beck in his own tier of tier 3, but we're talking about backup quarterbacks, and no, I don't think Carson Beck is going to be the long-term answer in Arizona either. At QB4, we do have the aforementioned Drew Allar out of Pittsburgh. Drew Allar, Penn State quarterback. Excellent debut by him as well. I thought Will Howard played well. The reports are Mason Rudolph, Aaron Rodgers here in preseason week 2, with Drew Allar and Will Howard battling it out for QB3 in Pittsburgh. Is he going to play? I'd like to say no, but Aaron Rodgers is 47 years old. Mason Rudolph, we know what he is. There's a chance that we see Drew Allar on the field for Pittsburgh this year. Redraft, no thank you. Dynasty, he is a player who's being traded. We've got a trade database where you can look up what players are being traded for, and Drew Allar was going for damn second-round picks after his preseason game. So spare me the Ty Simpson. It was just a preseason game when you got Drew Allar getting flipped for second-round picks after one preseason game. QB4, tier 3 with Carson Beck and Cade Klubnik of the New York Jets. Geno's the best quarterback they've had in a while. A hell of a lot better than what they had back there last year, and I don't feel any more confident that that job is going to be his and stay his for the entirety of the season. Jets are going to be picking top 5 probably in the NFL draft, at least Vegas odds right now. And there was already conversation about them going for a quarterback last year when Dante Moore looked like he was a big part of the class. But Cade Klubnik, see what you got, right? What's there to lose? We know, and it's not even an indictment on Geno. Like, we know what Geno is. We know what he is. We know he's not the long-term answer in New York. So why not see the young Cade Klubnik play at some point in time? I don't know when that's going to be. Redraft, we're not even talking about it. Dynasty, again, long shot to ever be relevant. So once we get here, really the quarterbacks, it just goes up in smoke. I got Garrett Nussmeier next, Taylon Green, QB7, and then after that, Cole Payton. Doesn't matter. Garrett Nussmeier, that kind of ends it, and I have little faith that he's going to develop into anything in Kansas City either. So it's really these 5 quarterbacks: Cade Klubnik, Drew Allar, Carson Beck, Ty Simpson, and Fernando Mendoza. For redraft purposes, no thank you, no thank you, no thank you, and likely with Fernando Mendoza. Unless he's named the starter week 1, no thank you in that department. All right, now let's move on to talk about the running back position. RBs here in 2026. First pass at my rookie dynasty / redraft running back rankings. We got Jeremiyah Love still at the top spot, no doubt. I mean, he could have torn his knee, could have blown his ankle off. It wouldn't have mattered. RB1 in 2026. There's nothing to really discuss outside of how you feel about him for seasonal leagues. I mean, high ankle sprain ain't what you want to hear. It's terrible. I guess the silver lining is it's mid-August. I know the NFL season is a few weeks away, but hopefully he can get healed up, get the proper rest and rehabilitation that he needs to come back and make an impact for the NFL, for the Cardinals early in the season. And it's not one of those things that knocks him out for 4, 6, 8 weeks. It's a terrible injury. It's one of those lingering injuries, ankle injuries for a position and a player who is relying on explosiveness and hard cut and agility. It's just tough to see it. Injuries are part of the game, but I'm not going to move Jeremiyah Love off of my RB1, redraft or dynasty. That ain't happening either way. So he is still at the top spot. We'll talk about some other top players that moved down for me, both in dynasty and redraft due to injury, but it's not Jeremiyah Love. Tier 2 is a tier of its own. It is his college teammate, Jadarian Price, Seattle Seahawks workhorse lead running back. There are a lot of people out there that try to sell y'all a dream that George Holani, come on, man, that George Holani was going to be the one to keep Jadarian Price on the bench. And I ain't trying to dog out George Holani. Don't make it seem like I'm doing that, but let's be real. Let's be real. They spent the first-round pick on him. Yes, he's going to be on the field. George Holani was never going to keep Jadarian Price off the field absent injury. Sure, he'll play. Sure, he'll get touches and he'll get carries, but let's not be silly this early in the NFL season. Jadarian Price, RB2. Redraft, I want him a little bit more, man. We're talking about Seattle. Team that just won a Super Bowl. Team that's got a dope offensive line. Team that's got playmakers on the offensive side of the ball, led by Offensive Player of the Year Jackson Smith and Jigba. No, He may not be Kenneth Walker, or hell, he may be better than Kenneth Walker. We're not sure. But what I am sure about is they spent capital on him to give him opportunity. He's a talented running back. And the cool thing about Love and Price is because they played together and you've got 2 first-round running backs, not as high as Ronnie Brown and Cadillac Williams, not as high as Felix Jones and Darren McFadden, but we've got 2 first-round running backs that kept each other fresh in college. So I love the tread that is currently left on the Price tires. I know he had some injury earlier in his career, much earlier in his Notre Dame career. RB2 in the class, and for redraft, very much in on him this season in Seattle. So in a tier of his own, Jadarian Price, RB2. Now let's have some fun. RB3, Jonah Coleman from Washington, Denver Broncos running back. We got R.J. Harvey, we got Jaleel McLaughlin, and we've got J.K. Dobbins, and he can't stay healthy. And R.J. Harvey probably ain't the type of running back you want pounding in between the A and B gap. So Jonah Coleman is a bowling ball of muscle. He plays violent. I loved his game at Arizona, loved his game at Washington, and I think he's going to be real good. This is a player that I moved up my overall rookie rankings. So Jonah Coleman moved up my overall rookie rankings, RB3 in the class. Great spot. Again, Denver should be a good team. A lot of offensive playmakers there. You got Sean Payton in the building. He already said, hey, I saw enough of Jonah Coleman in his first preseason game to feel good about him going into the regular season. That's what you want to hear. Jonah Coleman, RB3. Redraft, he'd be like a late click, an insurance policy. When the last time JK stayed healthy? It's been a minute. It's been forever, probably since Ohio State. So like Jonah Coleman a lot. RB4, Emmett Johnson of the Kansas City Chiefs. This is a player that I talked about on the preseason's takeaway show that of all the rookie running backs that are actually probably in a position to matter for us a little bit for fantasy, Emmett Johnson was the most impressive. He had about 3 or 4 plays called back due to penalty. Physical, ran hard, caught the ball, saying all the right things are the coaching staff about this young man. And when I just looked at him, head up, bar for bar against Brashard Smith, there was no doubt whose vision was better, who's more powerful, who felt like a real running back versus a wide receiver converted and played 1 year of running back at SMU. I don't give a damn about Emery DeMarcado. He serves the role. Brashard Smith can catch the ball. They need to groom and develop Emmett Johnson to be that backup running back in Kansas City. Very impressed by him week 1. Want to see more here in week 2, but Emmett Johnson, RB4 for me right now. No redraft value either. No redraft value. RB5, Mike Washington. Big Mike playing behind Ashton Genty. The role is Genty's, so standalone value. This might be one of the best handcuffs. Explosive. We saw the long run by him, and that's what he does. Big-time runner out of Arkansas, put the ball on the ground a bunch in college, but he ain't going to be asked to carry the rock a ton because you got Ashton Genty that's going to be the lead bell cow back. If Washington can carve out, and I'm going best-case scenario here, I'm talking about like when Tony Pollard was at the end of his tenure in Dallas and he was actually on the field playing alongside Ezekiel Elliott, that would be like best-case outcome. It ain't Mike having standalone value, pulling Ashton Genty off the field to any significant degree. But can he be that? I think it's still a long shot. But if something were to happen to Genty, and let me say that the running back position is volatile, we know it. Like this would be everybody running out to the waiver wire to get Big Mike. So Mike Washington, RB5, Dynasty rookie running back for me. Redraft, again, it's handcuff. He's a last round pick. Round 20, you want to take a flyer on an RB handcuff, Mike Washington ain't a bad bet. I mean, we was doing it last year with a player like Ollie Gordon. Really like what we saw out of week 1, Mike Washington. All right, let's keep it pushing and move on to the next tier, tier 4 of running back. You've got Kalen Black. We have Katron, Fatman Allen, Nicholas Singleton, Damon Claiborne in the next tier. So there's the next tier, tier 4. Kalen Black, Katron Allen, Nick Singleton, and Damon Claiborne. Black is back. Black was a 3rd-round pick. Black plays in San Francisco, and everybody gets hurt. You got to do something to keep Christian McCaffrey healthy. Deebo Samuel will get some carries out of the backfield, but other than Christian McCaffrey, Isaac Guerendo's still there, always injured. I like Black. He was one of the players that just watching Indiana, I was like, man, he's a little better than people give him credit for. Does he have any kind of true standalone? He's going to be a difference-making running back in the NFL? Probably not, but when you're in a dope scheme, when you've got Kyle Shanahan, there's always a chance. Now, you're playing behind Christian McCaffrey, who when he is on, he's like they're not pulling him off the field. But I like Black, and I'll take a shot on him in Dynasty redraft. I mean, you are just hoping and praying as a last-round pick handcuff, but more so priority waiver wire guy. You ain't picking him with no real capital. Katron Allen, he looked good. He looked good in that preseason game. Robert Henry looked good. I wish I could move him up, but the reality is, like, those two in particular, long shots to make the roster. I think Katron's got the better shot to actually make the 53 for Washington. I mean, we're at a point now, y'all, where I'm looking at these running backs, Katron, Singleton, Damon Claiborne, and I'm like, I really am indifferent here for any of these guys. Singleton, sure. Loved him 5 years ago when he was the number 1 overall running back and going to Penn State. People said he was the next Saquon Barkley. Right now, he ain't playing over Pollard. He ain't playing over Spears. Michael Carter is there, getting blown up in pass coverage. I'll say this, the best thing going for Singleton, he's probably going to be a kick returner. We'll see if he'll be Tennessee's primary kick returner, but I have a little interest in Nicholas Singleton, Katron Allen, and Damon Claiborne. I like the speed. I think he's explosive. The reality is he ain't getting on the field over Aaron Jones. He's not playing over Jordan Mason. Now, Aaron Jones gets banged up. He was banged up last year, but when he's on the field, he's going to touch the rock. So just not a lot of enthusiasm from this tier of running back. And then you go a little bit lower, tier 5. Adam Randall, again, like the performance, when is he going to play? Derrick Henry doesn't get hurt. He doesn't get hurt. Never misses games. He's a tank. He's an Iron Man. But sure, Adam Randall, RB10, RB11, Jamari Taylor, same sentiment. Like what I saw in that preseason game, he carried the rock 30 damn times in the game. But you know who didn't play? LaQuint Allen, Chris Rodriguez, and Bajal Tootin. Those are your 3 running backs. Now, LaQuint Allen is hurt. Going to miss all the rest of preseason. We'll see. Maybe this is an opportunity for Jamari Taylor to step up, and that's why we're talking about it. So just check waivers, deeper dynasty rosters. Jamari Taylor's out there. He looked real good in that first preseason game for Jacksonville. And then RB12, we'll stop right there. Seth McGowan, the running back for Indianapolis. Jam Miller, RB13, but we really don't need to go any further than that. Go to the website, check out the rest. Jam Miller, RB13. Seth McGowan apparently in the lead to be RB2 in Indianapolis. Sure. The issue is with Randall, with Seth McGowan, with Kalen Black, that you guys are behind like the last true NFL bell cow running backs, and they don't come off the field. They don't come, even when they get banged up, they don't come off the field. And when they're healthy, they're going to touch the ball every damn time. So it's just a tough range to live in at this running back spot. So top 12, McGowan, Taylor, Randall, Claiborne, Singleton, Allen, Black, Washington, Emmett Johnson. That's the tier I like. Like right here, Washington, Emmett Johnson, Jonah Coleman. I can see all 3 of those guys, all 3 of them will be on the field this year, contributing to some degree. And if there were an injury of somebody ahead of them, like they've got real value this season. Other than that, if something happens to CMC, it's going to be Black and others. It's not just going to be Black, as well as Mike Washington and Emmett Johnson, but those guys would probably have a little more opportunity than Kalen Black. So Mike Washington, Emmett Johnson, Jonah Coleman, and then Jadarian Price and Jeremiyah Love. Let's go to the tight end position really quickly because all the outrage from these old Ray GQ ranks will happen at wide receiver. All right, let's move on to the tight end position, and this will be quick. Kenyon Sadiq, tight end 1, still. I don't know what the hell we're going to get out of Kenyon Sadiq this year. Jets had 3 first-round picks. David Bailey at least appears to be an absolute stud. Kenyon Sadiq, we'll see. I like him. He's young. He's athletic. He's talented. And then Omar Cooper Jr., which we'll talk about at the wide receiver position. We'll see those last 2 picks in the first round. But Kenyon Sadiq still sitting at tight end 1. I did have some movement. My tight end 2 is not Eli Stowers. It's Max Klare. Max Klare, I want the Rams. I want a good offense. I want the team that's going to throw 3-4 tight ends on the field at any given formational period. And I like the fact that Klare was targeted early. I think he saw Sean McVay got to see a lot out of his young tight end. Colby Parkinson, Tyler Higbee could be gone soon. Davis Allen as well. And I think you look at this tight end room of Max Klare and Ferguson, Terrence Ferguson. There have been some good tight end pairings along the way, right? I'm not going to go to who Aaron Hernandez played with and compare Ferguson or Klare to Rob Gronkowski, but we've seen 2 tight end systems work. most recently in Baltimore with Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely. I'm a big fan of Max Klare. This was a player that I liked before he transferred to Ohio State, and all the positive reports. The offense is dope. Give me Max Klare as tight end 2 for Dynasty. Redraft, I don't want any damn tight end, really. Not really. So any of these guys, Sadiq, Max Klare, don't have a lot of interest in the tight ends for seasonal leagues this year. At 3, I've got Eli Raridon out of New England. The beat reporters and the vibes are positive on Raridon being a contributor this year. Hunter Henry read up. So that's the tight end 1. But like Raridon, love Drake May, love the New England Patriots offense. Josh McDaniels knows what he's doing as an OC. We'll keep Eli Raridon here at tight end 3. Then we get Eli Stowers at tight end 4. I know he was drafted a bit higher than some of these guys, but Dallas Goedert's there. I'm not buying into this Eagles offense right now, and the reports and the vibes around Eli Stowers are fine, right? I'm not going to say he's been bad, but nothing spectacular from Eli Stowers. So tight end 4 for me. Tight end 5, Oscar Delp out of New Orleans, and with the injury to Jordan Tyson, maybe they need their young tight end to step up a little more. Kellen Moore knows a little something about tight ends his damn self. Justin Jolie out of Denver. Want to see him play this year. Evan Ingram is still there, and every other tight end that Sean Payton's loved throughout his tenure as a coach, and they'll probably bring in damn Taysom Hill at some point. So, like Justin Jolie, I think he's a talented tight end, probably a tough path for him to see significant playing time here this year. I do think Raridon, Klare, Delp, Stowers to a degree may play some this year, but after this, y'all, it's Nate Borkacher, second-round pick, Tanner Koziel, Jack Injuries, and Michael Trigg rounding out my top 10 tight ends. So those are the updated tight end rookie ranks. And for redraft, the answer to any of these guys is no. You do not want them. Do not waste the pick in seasonal leagues. These are waiver wire tight ends. I know some people probably drafted a Kenyon Sadiq with some hope. I'd go in a completely different direction. I would take Mason Taylor for seasonal leagues over Kenyon Sadiq and take Kenyon Sadiq in Dynasty over Mason Taylor. Now let's get into the position everybody is going to bitch and complain and comment that I'm so wrong and it's reactionary. But again, we started this thing off talking about Dynasty is essentially glorified redraft today. So let's get those wide receiver ranks up and let's talk about it. Here we go. Wide receiver, tier 1 rookie rankings at number 1. Carnell Tate still sitting at the top for me. I have concerns. I have concerns about Tennessee. Oh, Ray, it was just one game. It was just one game. Cam Ward, look at all the throws he makes. I watched him play for 17 last year, and it wasn't good. I hope they pull it together. I hope they get it together, because if Cam Ward doesn't get it together, Carnell Tate will not pay off. His dynasty value, his redraft price, it's going to be something. It's going to be something. So I've got him projected around 12 points per game right now, which is not high as is, and that feels a little bullish given all the things going on in Tennessee. But Carnell Tate, for me, here's the weird thing. Dynasty, he's still wide receiver 1. Redraft, I don't know. I can go a lot of different ways. In tier 1, after the draft was a tier of 3, maybe 3 or 4. This is expanded for me. It is a much larger tier of wide receiver, which means y'all can rank them however the hell y'all want, and I'm not going to argue you one bit. At wide receiver 2, we are going to Cleveland for some KC Concepcion as my wide receiver 2 right now. I think this is a player that you can draft and redraft that will score you points. Not as bullish with how the room is currently situated with Jerry Jeudy still there. Quarterback needs to kind of figure itself out. Looks like it's going to be Deshaun Watson. But if I had to draft a wide receiver 2 today, right now, KC Concepcion would be the pick. I know some people, oh my God, why are you doing this? Jordan Tyson. Jordan Tyson's hamstrings is like brisket right now. He's got to get that fixed. 3 hamstring injuries in less than 1 calendar year. You could say it ain't a problem. It's a little bit of a problem. And we'll talk about Jordan Tyson a little bit down the line. At wide receiver 3, first bomb drop moment in the rankings for me. We're going to the Strib Club. Zhaun Stribling, wide receiver 3. And if I had to put money on it right now today, which one of these players outscores the other in seasonal leagues, I would probably put my money on Strib. The opportunity is going to be there, and I know that this is not what people were saying right after the draft, but you have to be able to adjust with new information. And this offense is dope. Kyle Shanahan is a phenomenal play caller. So if you're telling me there's opportunity available because Kittle is still banged up, Mike Evans is hurt, Christian Kirk, they need to just cut him, right? Debo came back, but you look around, it's supposed to be one of the best offenses, most efficient offense. Brock Purdy, throw for 4,000 yards. Zhaun Stribling is stepping into a situation where opportunity is plentiful. Yes, I want him. I saw San Francisco take 105 Brandon Ayuk targets, not 150, not 130, 105 targets into 1,300 yards. And you're telling me this dude who ran a 4.3, physical, big as hell, can win downfield, win short, going to be on the field with the starting wide receivers, learning from Mike Evans, that he can increase his dynasty value? I've seen it happen all too many times. And I know some of y'all ain't been around long enough for an Amon-Ra St. Brown. You really weren't around shooting in the gym when Puka Nacua was an afterthought in rookie drafts, stepped into opportunity due to injury and turned into the player that he is today. And I'm not saying Zhaun Stribling is going to be that, but the opportunity is there. The environment is prime. And right now I can do more with Stribling today than I can with some of the other rookie wide receivers drafted ahead of him in the draft. I ain't got no problem with it. Wide receiver 3 for me. Redraft, want him. Dynasty, want him. Let's go. Wide receiver 4, Makai Lemon. He ain't done shit neither. Hurt, injured, hamstrings messed up, hurt during minicamp. I'm hanging on to the fact that he's a pretty good player. He was a first-round pick. He's not going to be the wide receiver 1. All reports are Dontavian Wicks is looking outstanding and is going to be the wide receiver on the field in 2 wide receiver sets. Lemon to be back. Lemon will be good. I'm not projecting Lemon to be some special 1,000-yard receiver in the NFL, at least not his rookie year. People are already down on him. Man, when is he going to play? It's Jalen Hurts. They're going to have a new quarterback. This and this and that and this. Still in tier 1. We're still talking about tier 1 guys. But I'm not holding on to what I thought he could be in April with new information that I see today. I am going to move and adjust. This ain't Dynasty of 2018 where you just draft him and I'm just going to hold him because I don't care. He was a first-round pick. Fuck that. You need to be on the field producing. If you're not producing, people are looking around like, what am I doing? I'm getting zeros. He's a wide receiver 3. And at the end of the day, if you're not a difference maker, what are you? How many people are clamoring for Jordan Addison today? Right? You don't see, you need to elevate and go into that elite upper echelon tier. If you're not that guy, I'll move you wherever. If you told me right now, Ray, I got Strib at 1, Carnell Tate at 2, I'm not going to argue you. Ray, I still got Jordan Tyson at, fine, do whatever you want to do. None of these guys, in my opinion, are of the caliber of a Malik Neighbors, right? Are they even at Rome Odunze level of what we thought about them as prospects? And I think we forget so often how we felt about guys during that moment of time during their draft cycle process. It's easy to say, nah, man, I'll take them all over Odunze until you saw Odunze was a top 10 pick after they drafted Caleb Williams, number 1 overall. Makai Lemon, wide receiver 4 for me right now. Dynasty, kind of unchanged. He had him at wide receiver 3 after the draft, so he's moved down 1 spot. Biggest faller has been Jordan Tyson, who I have as wide receiver 5. Still inside of tier 1. That is tier 1. Tate, Concepcion, Stribling, Lemon, Jordan Tyson. Hamstrings or brisket right now. Tenderism, fall off the bone, ribs for Jordan Tyson. We need him to get it fixed. I did an exercise with our Discord community, ddfantasyfootball.com. Sign up, join the squad. Join the squad. Support what we're doing over here. We look at every first-round wide receiver from 2026, 2025, back to, I think we went back to 2012, man. And there have only been a few instances of first-round rookie wide receivers whose entire, a chunk of their rookie season was lost due to injury, and they turn around and they are premier wide receivers in the NFL. It is rare. Jameson Williams being the most recent. We knew he was hurt. He was hurt that final game at Alabama, so he lost majority of his rookie season due to injury, and Jamo's been an 1,100-yard receiver back-to-back years. Even then, that is not an elite ceiling wide receiver. Jordan Tyson was never going to be the wide receiver 1 because he's playing next to Chris Olave. So there's knock 1 on Tyson. And I love Tyson. This was my wide receiver 2. But again, if your hamstrings are falling off of the bone already, 3 of them in 1 calendar year, that is a problem. Looking at wide receivers who kind of best compare injury-wise to what we've seen from Tyson and what they became, Will Fuller was the name that we landed on. Will Fuller and Jordan Tyson, both ACL tears in their legs. Will Fuller and Jordan Tyson, both broken collarbones. Will Fuller and Jordan Tyson, chronic hamstring issues. Both of them. Will Fuller never played a full 17 in his career. When he was on the field, he was great. Pretty good receiver, efficient, downfield threat. I think when Tyson gets on the field, he'll be good. Do I feel confident trusting that his legs are going to stay intact? No, I don't. I don't. And for a player that I didn't project to be their team's wide receiver 1 in the first place, I ain't got no problem taking somebody else over him. You can stick to your priors. I'm going to move with the market. There will be plenty of time within his 2-month rehabilitation period that we think he'll be back from for me to buy Jordan Tyson if I want him. But right now, if I can move Tyson for Lemon, gone. Tyson for Stribling, gone. Tyson for Concepcion, gone. Tyson for Tate, gone. First class flight off my roster because I know how fickle you all are in Dynasty. I've seen it before. I've seen how fickle you are with much better players than Jordan Tyson. Move him down. No thank you for redraft. I see people saying, I still want a late round stab at him. Not me. You could stab. I'll pass. I'll pass on his hamstrings right now. Let him get right. Take the time you need, young man. Get yourself healthy because clearly you probably weren't 100% Jordan Tyson, wide receiver 5. So that is tier 1. Tate, KC, Strib, Lemon, Tyson. All right, so let's move to the tier 2 wide receiver position. And again, probably going to piss some people off here, but let's keep the party rolling. Denzel Boston at number 6, love him. Going to be the starting wide receiver or one of the starting wide receivers for Cleveland, and whomever's playing quarterback for the Browns next year, having Boston and Concepcion and Harold Fannin Jr. at your disposal, really looking forward to the future of the skill position in Cleveland. Big fan of Boston's downfield ability at Washington. Love what we've seen from him early in training camp and what we're hearing about him from his coaches. So Boston kicking off tier 2. At wide receiver 7, draft capital don't matter. I am just betting on the environment, the coaches, what we're seeing. He's running with the ones. I know he was picked 50,000 spots after this first round receiver, but give me Cyrus Allen out of Kansas City, man. I am still very skeptical on how much work he gets this season. But Tyquan Thornton is hurt. Xavier Worthy has been banged up every season. Rashee Rice, hey man, Rashee got to stay on the field, right? Not do any knucklehead stuff off the field. It's a contract year for him. Mahomes already trusts him. A head coach's trust gets you some opportunity. A quarterback trust gets you targets. Seems like Cyrus Allen, both of those things are happening right now. And I've seen Eric Bieniemy. I've seen Andy Reid take players who were drafted later that have a unique skill set and turn them into stars. I like this kid. He was good at Cincinnati. I think he's going to be good in Kansas City. And while I don't think the breakout season is truly going to come to fruition this year, this is a player that has very high ADV, artificial dynasty value. Read the article on the site about ADV. I want Cyrus Allen. He's a baller. He's attached to Patrick Mahomes. I would take him over Omar Cooper right now any day of the week. The vibes are not good. Everything we continue to hear out of Jets camp is, I get it. And people, they said this about Justin Jefferson. How dare you even put Omar Cooper Jr.'s name in the same sentence as Justin Jefferson? The only thing they have in common is they were drafted around the same spot. But anybody who watched college football last fall, you would watch Indiana and you'd say, man, is number 80 the best receiver? Is it number 13? Or Omar Cooper Jr. number 3? They had 3 dogs. Charlie Becker, Elijah Surratt, and Omar Cooper. Omar did all the short underneath stuff. The catch versus Penn State really elevated his stock, but all reports are very much negative about Mr. Cooper in New York. So, yeah, the draft capital is there. It's going to get him some opportunity. I've also seen first-round wide receivers get their ass packed and shipped out after one season. They just move on, right? I don't think that's going to be Omar Cooper. I hope it's not Omar Cooper. There's a lot of time left, but I don't want him. You could draft him, I'll pass. Give me Cyrus Allen. At wide receiver 9, Jacoby Lane. Me and Jordan Reed high on him in the season. Going into the season, Jordan Reed had him as wide receiver 2. I'm skeptical on how Baltimore historically has used their second wide receivers, but it seems like Jacoby Lane is stepping up right now. And if Rashad Bateman, Shoddy B himself, can't stay on the field, Lane going to get opportunity. And he complements Zay Flowers so well. Their skill sets are different. Downfield, vertical option, red zone threat, another weapon for Lamar. Move them up the ranks. Jacoby Lane, top 10 wide receiver. At number 10, we've got Jeremy Bernard from the Pittsburgh Steelers, still inside of that same tier. Opportunity probably a little limited this year with DK and Michael Pittman, but nice positive preseason week 1 showing for Jeremy Bernard, kind of like a running back out there playing wide receiver. At 11, Caleb Douglas, wide receiver out of Miami. Saw a great catch, positive vibes, low room, thin depth chart, like Caleb Douglas as well. And I've got his running mate Chris Bell as wide receiver 12. Activated off the non-football injury list. We need to see him get cleared for full practice. But a nice little 1-2 combination from Malik Willis if you can get those two guys playing together at the same time. And the final player inside of Tier 2, we've got Ted Hurst out of Tampa Bay. Meke Buka dealing with a toe injury. Ted Hurst, positive vibes, positive things being said about him throughout training camp. Stock up for Ted Hurst. Let's go down a little bit more. Tier 3, we've got Antonio Williams at 14. And then Tier 4, I've got Malachi Fields, Zachariah Branch, Elijah Surratt, Bryce Lance, Malik Benson, and Brennan Thompson. That is where we'll stop at the next 20. Benson, intriguing in Las Vegas. Thompson, probably not going to see a lot of the field in Los Angeles. Bryce Lance, operated as the wide receiver 2 today at joint practices because Tyson is hurt. Vele is banged up. We'll see what the young wide receiver out of NDSU can do. Elijah Surratt, again, another young receiver for Lamar Jackson. It's felt like Jacoby Lane has been the more universally praised receiver, but still some talent in there. And he balled the hell out in his first preseason game. Stock up for him. Zach Branch talked to some beat reporters out of Atlanta. He's explosive, but he is behind Olamide Zaccheaus and Jahan Dotson. Malachi Fields' opportunity to step up this year in New York. Malik Neighbors returning back from his ACL. Caught a touchdown pass in his first game. Probably going to be on the field. If he can't play over damn Jalen Hyatt, Elijah, Isaiah Hodgins, Calvin Austin. Come on. Just throw Fields out there, see what his big ass can do. Like Jackson Dart, very skeptical about the offense, especially with Matt Nagy calling plays. But Fields, wide receiver 15, I'm good with it. And Antonio Williams right there, tier by himself in tier 3, learning from Diggs, playing with Jaden Daniels. Really like Antonio Williams. So those are the updated positional rookie rankings. You can find those on ddfantasyfootball.com. We went through the quarterbacks, the running backs, the receivers, and the tight ends, where I have them, how I value them. You could look at everybody on the board at one time. You got Jeremiyah Love, Jadarian Price, Carnell Tate, Fernando Mendoza, Tyson, and Lemon. No, we're not even going to do that. Those are my updated rookie rankings for Dynasty/redraft to a degree, right? I'm trying to keep it Dynasty. Dynasty does feel like glorified redraft, but those are the Dynasty rookie ranks. Have not done an update since the NFL draft, and I'll continue to do this probably once a month in season. I don't want to kind of mess around with it every single week. I'll do one more rookie final rankings thing after the third preseason game. We'll put a final board together. But the cool thing is, on the site this year, I will be doing weekly rankings. So weekly projections, weekly rankings right here on the site. Really slick tool, really easy to navigate. Check it out on the site. You'll be able to watch this weekly right here. Those are the season ranks. Weekly, I'll show you a little taste of what that'll look like for the slate. You'll be able to compare players. And the way that I'm going to do rankings this year, most people, when they do a weekly ranking, they give you, hey, this is what I think Lamar Jackson is projected to do, 23.6 points in week 1. I am ranking within a range of outcome for a player, so you could see the probability that they go nuclear in your lineup, that they give you a good safe median floor, or that they bust on any given week. So if we just looked at the advanced stuff for like a Lamar Jackson right here in week 1 versus Indianapolis, you could see it here on the screen. Lamar's projected In week 1, 23.6 points, but you see 13% chance to go nuclear. Nuclear means for the quarterback position, over 35 points in that given week. A boom week, 35% probability to score you 27 points, 65% chance to hit, which is over 19 points, and a 13% chance to bust, which is less than 12. And you'll be able to compare different players. We got their projected passing line. There goes the running backs. Each threshold is different for the position. So when you're trying to figure out how to set a lineup and who you should put in versus others, you could look at, hey, I want to take guys that have a high nuclear ceiling. Right here for the running back position, that's 33 points. Jahmyr Gibbs, 22% chance to do that. So every single week, right here on the channel, on the website, there'll be articles, there'll be videos. We're moving rookie rankings. We're doing weekly projections. We're ranking off of projections. We got DFS stuff coming, all types of dope shit. Join the community, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, like the content, and make sure you check out everything that I'm putting down. I appreciate y'all vibing out with me for this one. A lot longer than I thought it would be, but it's a good time every time, baby. I appreciate y'all. See y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace.